Hey guys, it's your old buddy Jeff, Clearwater Plumbers. Wanted to go over a couple of fall tips. So tip number one is drain your hoses. So on draining your hoses, why you do that, by the way, is if you leave the hose connected, a lot of times people leave a sprayer on the back end of the hose and it stays pressurized. The hose will split during the winter time with the expansion and contraction of that freezing. So just disconnect your hoses in the winter time. Number two is cover outdoor spigots. Obviously everybody knows to do that, but I think we forget about it. I like these. This has just got a simple rubber piece that adapts to the hose. Pull it tight, you're not having to mess with thread and something like that. And by the way, a little hint is the first freeze on record, I believe October 22nd. The first average freeze is November 22nd. So it's the end of September and we're not really thinking about it. I'm wearing shorts today, but really it's gonna sneak up on you. So just keep it in the back of your head. You may think I'm being early, but what happens is everybody starts freaking out because if they tell us it's gonna freeze and then we're not prepared because we're busy. Next tip is plumbing fixtures, make sure there's no leaks. Now I'd say the most important one is to make sure these guys aren't leaking. A lot of times we forget about them because we don't see them at the end of the house. But what happens is they'll end up leaking, and in the wintertime it'll just continue to drip and it'll be like a stalactite of ice that will get back into the wall. And then that's people really freak out about that, but they don't see it, and then they'll come back and they'll have this sheet of ice going all the way back to their hose moving in the wall. And there's not much we can do about it at that point, but just hope nothing freezes. You know, another thing on that, what happens too, this is called a Frostproof hose bib. And what we see a lot of is people will leave their hose connection, and it's Frostproof because the connection, the seat washer is right back here. So it stays back in the insulated part of your house. But if you leave a hose connected, what happens is this part freezes and this part will split. And then whenever it thaws out and you turn your hose on, what happens is it'll spray in your wall. So it's real important that even if your hose bib is Frostproof like this, that you cover it and you disconnect your hose, because it will split. And we see that all spring long, that people don't know it, and into the summer that they got split hose bibs. Last thing, flush your water heater. Now the water heaters are working extra hard in the winter time because the ground temperature is colder. And a lot of times what people hear is they'll hear the water heater kind of popping, pop, 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 pop. What that is sediment with air pockets in it heating up, and it'll make that popping noise. So if you got a popping noise like that, you definitely need your water heater flushed. And on top of that, it'll make it work better because a lot of times the elements get filled up with sediment. So if you hear any popping, you're supposed to flush your water heater anyway, especially at tankless, but it'll make it work better, make it last longer. So that's what I got for you. Jeff with Clearwater Plumbers. Do what you oughter. Call Clearwater.